Listen carefully because what I'm about to say may challenge the way you have been thinking about your struggles, your failures, and even your identity. There are two kinds of people in this world. Those who move through life constantly reacting, tired, discouraged, blaming circumstances, surviving one day at a time. And those who walk through the same storms with calm strength, who rise when others retreat, who seem almost untouchable by defeat. The difference between them is not intelligence, it is not luck, it is not education. It is mental attitude, but not the shallow version of positivity that smiles while collapsing inside. Not empty affirmations, not pretending pain does not exist. A true positive mental attitude is power. It is the ability to look directly at adversity and still choose faith over fear, purpose over panic, and discipline over despair. It is not denial of reality. It is mastery of interpretation. Over the course of my life, I studied men who built industries, who shaped history, who endured crushing setbacks and still triumphed. They did not succeed because life was gentle with them. They succeeded because they developed an inner condition that could not be shaken. They did not fear failure. They examined it. They did not surrender to defeat. They converted it. They did not collapse under pressure. They strengthened beneath it. And the same capacity exists within you. But before we go further, you must answer a difficult question. What is controlling your mind right now? Is it fear, doubt, resentment, self-pity? Or is it gratitude, purpose, belief, and expectation? Because the mind never remains neutral. It is always under influence. If you do not deliberately guide it, the world will gladly guide it for you. News cycles, criticism, social pressure, past mistakes, they will take ownership of your thoughts if you allow it. There is only one thing in this life over which you possess complete authority: your mental attitude. You may not control events, but you control the meaning you assign to them. That single truth is either empowering or uncomfortable, depending on how honest you are willing to be. You become what you consistently think about. What you dwell upon begins to shape your decisions. What you rehearse internally becomes your outward reality. Many people say, "I try to stay positive, but life keeps knocking me down." And I ask them, what is your purpose? What are you moving toward? Because no one develops an unbreakable mindset without a clear and definite aim. A drifting mind becomes a negative mind. A person without direction becomes vulnerable to fear. But when a man or woman wakes each morning with a goal that burns within them, something meaningful, something deeply personal, failure loses its sting. Setbacks become lessons. Delay becomes preparation. Purpose transforms pain into power. To build this kind of mindset, you must decide exactly what you want. Not vaguely, not casually, clearly. You must believe, even before evidence appears, that you are capable of achieving it. And you must act daily in alignment with that belief, whether motivation is present or not. The world does not reward hesitation. It rewards clarity backed by persistence. Now let us speak honestly about something that weakens countless people. Negative thoughts are not harmless visitors. They are quiet intruders. If you allow them to linger, they begin rearranging the furniture of your mind. They will slowly convince you that you are smaller than you are, less capable than you are, more limited than you truly are. You must practice what I call mental housekeeping. Observe your thoughts. When fear attempts to dominate, confront it. When doubt begins its familiar narrative, interrupt it. Replace destructive thinking with intentional belief. This is not fantasy. It is conditioning. You were not born negative. You were conditioned by environment, repetition, and experience. And what has been conditioned can be reconditioned. What has been programmed can be rewritten. Repetition is the key. You become what you repeatedly say to yourself. Your inner dialogue becomes your identity. Speak weakness long enough and you will embody it. Speak strength consistently and you will grow into it. Each morning, take deliberate time to reinforce your belief. Not casually, but intentionally. Speak to yourself as someone who expects progress. You may not feel it immediately. That is normal. Belief is built through repetition long before it is felt emotionally. The subconscious does not change because you hope once. It changes because you reinforce a message daily. Yet belief alone is not enough. An unbreakable mindset requires discipline. You cannot master your thinking while neglecting your habits. You cannot sustain a powerful attitude if you surrender daily to distraction, comfort, and impulse. Discipline is the bridge between belief and reality. Without it, your intentions remain ideas. The individuals I studied did not rise solely because of talent. They governed themselves. They controlled their time, their attention, their reactions. They understood that the person who cannot control his habits will struggle to control his destiny. So ask yourself honestly, what habits weaken your spirit? What distractions drain your energy? What comforts are you clinging to that quietly delay your growth? Strength is built when you choose discipline over impulse, especially when no one is watching. There is another principle that must be understood deeply. Every adversity carries within it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. That does not mean adversity is pleasant. It means it is useful. Look back over your own life. Your greatest lessons likely emerged from your most difficult seasons. Your clarity often arrived through confusion. Your strength was forged under pressure. If you train your mind to search for the lesson within every setback, you become difficult to defeat. You may experience pain, but you will not experience permanent defeat. Because you know this is not the end, it is refinement. You are not defined by what happens to you. You are defined by what you choose to make of it. Two individuals can face the same hardship. One becomes bitter, the other becomes wiser. The event is identical. The response creates the difference. That response is attitude. Guard it carefully. Your environment influences you more than you realize. The conversations you entertain, the voices you absorb, the information you consume, all of it shapes your thinking. If you remain surrounded by negativity, your mindset will struggle to remain strong. Choose carefully what enters your mind, because what enters repeatedly begins to live there. Finally, understand this. You do not need permission to develop this power. You do not need approval. You need only a decision. A decision that your attitude belongs to you. A decision that you will no longer surrender your thoughts to circumstance. A decision that you will lead your mind instead of being led by it. And once that decision is made, consistently, daily, something changes. You become steady in chaos. You become composed under pressure. You become resilient in adversity. You may bend, but you will not break. You may stumble, but you will rise stronger. You may feel fear, but you will not surrender to it. An unbreakable positive mindset is not loud. It is disciplined. It is not naive. It is trained. It is not built in a day. It is reinforced daily. The question is not whether these principles work. The question is whether you will work them. Will you guard your thoughts? Will you define your purpose? Will you discipline your habits? Will you choose growth when comfort calls you to remain small? Because the moment you decide, truly decide, your transformation begins. And from that day forward, your life will reflect a simple truth. You are not here to be broken. You are here to rise. The choice is yours.